Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. Let's go started. Before started, some basic concepts about carbon. From the periodic table, atomic number of carbon is 6. Carbon has total 6 electrons. In first level of electrons has 2 electrons and second level of electrons has 4 electrons. It means we can say that second level of electron has 4. It means total 6 electrons present in it. It recognizes that this second level is unstable and as a result it converted from covalent bond. Carbon is a unique because it will up to 4 times its order to become stable. This is the unique characteristics of carbon. Here is the example of carbon bonding. 4 times not it becomes stable, but in the middle of hydrogen, 4 hydrogen present which becomes stable. Here is another example of carbon bonding 4 times. 4 dashes showed by hydrogen on the right side become carbon stable. Here is a triple bond. Here is a triple bond. 4 dashes attached as 4 bonds in the right, and this is a unique characteristics of carbon. Now we move on another thing which is lipids. Now look at lipids. Lipids one of the 4 categories of organic molecule. Carbon based molecule, carbohydrates, starch present in potatoes and starch is present in carbohydrates, and proteins one of the categories of organic molecule, nucleic acid which is DNA or RNA. Lipids monosaturated or unsaturated in a moment. Lipids have 2 basic parts. They have a head molecule mean to glycerol and gone up atop second is tails. They have angle on down of fatty acids chain. They have a chain of fatty acids. Here is a fatty acid chain. No matter how is the collection of carbon and hydrogen, this is why called chain of hydrocarbons and tend to be 1 to 3 fatty acids that will attach one glycerol to make lipids. This is commonly called as triglycerides. And lipids are great because they store energy. You can use this energy. Taking the difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. In unsaturated fatty acid, long chain carbon to carbon in a single bond between every carbon, and the reason is called saturated because the rest of the atom involves hydrogen. In saturated fatty acid, long chain carbon to carbon in a single bond between every carbon, the reason is called saturated because this chain of carbon, the rest of carbon atom involve hydrogen. This chain of carbon is filled with saturated completely with the hydrogen atom carbon bond for the 4 times. This saturated fatty acid chain is densely compacted, therefore solid at room temperature, such as butter. Butter is made from cow milk. So here is a glycerol molecule with 1, 2 and 3 saturated fatty acids, and in dehydration synthesis reaction H2O is removed. Now look at saturated fatty acid at heat, one double bond present between 2 carbons. Because of the double bond, therefore is a less space for hydrogen to occupy. If I edit those 2 red hydrogen for filling the space, it create fifth bond. It create fifth bond. So it doesn't fit, doesn't work. So here is unsaturated fats. The chain is less saturated, filled with hydrogen atoms. Notice that kink notice that kink has a double bond. Kink has a double bond and kink causes unsaturated fatty acids, the chain to be less dense, liquid at room temperature, and these tends to be fatty acids come up plants and fish plants. And so here form is more monounsaturated fatty acids. In monounsaturated fatty acids, only one double bond. Here is a picture of polysaturated fatty acids. In polysaturated fatty acids, here is a multiple double bond is present. Again I repeated, in polysaturated fatty acids, here is a multiple double bond is present. So this is a complete explanation of saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. In saturated fatty acids, only single bond present between each carbon. The chain is saturated, filled with hydrogen atom.